Let us see the recommendations for the management of neonates of suspected or confirmed COVID positive mothers. I have clubbed both the guidelines, the one given by the World Health Organization and the one given by our national bodies. Actually, it is WOGC, IAP, and NF guidelines. That is Federation of Gynecological Society of India and the Academy of Pediatrics and National Neonatology Forum. So this is it. So फर्स्ट लेट अस से कि किन यूनिट्स में हम सस्पेक्ट करेंगे कि कोविड-19 की पॉसिबिलिटी है. सो इफ द मदर इज कोविड पॉजिटिव विदिन 14 डेज ऑफ डिलीवरी, डिलीवरी के 14 डेज के पहले से अगर मदर कभी भी कोविड पॉजिटिव रही हो, या मदर इज अ सस्पेक्ट बाय गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया क्राइटेरिया और फ्रॉम अ कंटेनमेंट एरिया एज डिफाइंड बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, or exposure to a positive mother or any other positive family member after the birth of the baby, or respiratory distress with or without fever and cough onset beyond 48 hours of life with no other alternative explanation to it, like any neonate presenting with late onset sepsis with respiratory distress excluding meconium aspiration and perinatal asphyxia, etc., should also be a suspect COVID-19 neonate. And a confirmed neonate will be one who has been proven so by a positive real-time PCR test. So for neonatal resuscitation, we are primarily focusing on the IAP and NF guidelines. तो हमें करना क्या है? Physical distancing is to be maintained between the mother and the baby. Preferably, a separate adjacent room should be provided for neonatal resuscitation, or if nahi possible, if it is not possible, then a distance of at least 2 meters should be maintained between the bed of the mother and the cot of the baby. There should be minimum number of personnel. The most experienced and the experienced person should attend, and 1 or 2 persons are more than enough with full PPE. And delayed cord clamping and skin to skin contact can be practiced because the benefits of these two things, that is delayed cord clamping and kangaroo mother care, has been seen to outweigh the risks associated with transmission of COVID-19. What is not to be done? Endotracheally could be medications you don't have to administer during resuscitation of the baby. And second thing is that you should not bathe the baby because of the risk of hypothermia and the risk of acquisition of hospital-acquired infections. So how will you manage stable neonates who are born to such mothers, but they are exposed to COVID-19 from either the mother or from any other relative who is COVID-19 positive? In this case, the baby should be roomed in with mother and should be exclusively breastfed. This is very important regarding the feeding of the baby. It is very important that the baby should be exclusively breastfed. A nurse trained in essential newborn care should be provided for the help of the mother. If the nurse is not there, then a healthy, asymptomatic, and a willing non-COVID positive family member may also help the mother. The mother should take full IPC, that is infection prevention and control precautions, by wearing a mask and washing the hands frequently prior to breastfeeding and touching the baby. And the mother neonate duo should be separated from any other suspect or positive patients who may be there in the hospital. Now coming on to symptomatic or sick neonates, these should be nursed preferably in single closed rooms. And if this is not possible, then they should be nursed in closed incubators at least, or radiant warmers which are separated from other neonates, suspected neonates, by a distance of at least 1 meter. Negative airborne isolation rooms are preferred, and separate healthcare staff should be allotted for managing these suspect neonates who are symptomatic or sick or confirmed neonates. So when should the newborn be tested for COVID-19? The newborn should be tested first either at birth, as soon as the baby is delivered to a confirmed or suspect COVID-19 mother, the baby should be tested soon after birth, or if the baby is not delivered at your facility, then as soon as he is known to have a contact with any positive adult, he should be investigated. That is, a sample should be sent. So if a newborn is born in your facility, then at the birth, and if the newborn is coming to you having been delivered from outside, then At the time of admission, you have to test the neonate. Rooming in should not be postponed. Remember, it should not be postponed if the testing is delayed for some technical reason. If the first test is negative, then when do you need to repeat the test? You have to repeat the test after 5 to 14 days of birth or 5 to 14 days of exposure, as the case may be. And if any time new symptoms like respiratory distress, lethargy, seizures, apnea, refusal to feed, diarrhea, etc., that is any symptoms of suggestive of sepsis, they appear at any time. Now, coming on to the management of sick neonates, they should be nursed in a negative pressure room, and non-invasive ventilation is not contraindicated, but the healthcare personnel should take complete IPC precautions, and intubation should be done for usual indications only. It should be done by the most experienced personnel considering pre-medication, and preferably use an aerosol box, an inline suction device, and a HEPA filter to prevent the risk of transmission via the aerosols. Specific anti-COVID treatment, for example, the ones under trial like hydroxychloroquine, remdesivir, etc., they are not recommended. They are not recommended at all, even if the neonate is symptomatic. And even supportive therapies like systemic corticosteroids, intravenous immunoglobulins, and convalescent plasma are also not recommended. So, when do the neonates be discharged? These stable neonates who are being groomed in with the mothers can be discharged whenever the mother is being discharged, or if they are being taken care by a separate family member, then they can be discharged at 24 to 48 hours of life if they are stable. However, COVID positive neonates, if they're asymptomatic or having mild or moderate disease, then in that case if their oxygen requirement ends within 3 days, they can be discharged after 10 days of hospitalization even without repeating RT-PCR. But if they are symptomatic or severe, then a single negative RT-PCR report has to be demonstrated before discharge. As far as immunization of these babies before discharge is concerned, हमें बस routine immunization ही देना है, and vaccination should definitely be made. It should be made sure that vaccination should definitely be given prior to discharge as per existing policy. So to summarize, a stable suspect of confirmed positive neonate whose mother is not sick should be roomed in and breastfed and discharged with the mother. Whose mother is sick and the care is being provided by another family member, feeding should be done with express breast milk and should be discharged at 24 to 48 hours of life. Is stable. If the neonate is sick or is less than 34 weeks gestational age, obviously preterm is also sick baby. Either he is suspect or confirmed positive case, then he should be managed in a specifically and separately designated SNCU or NICU with a separate healthcare worker team provided, and should be discharged only after clinically improved and also a single negative RT-PCR has been demonstrated. The management is again standard care. So there is no much difference in the management of COVID positive and negative neonate. What is the difference of IPNNF guidelines from the WHO guidelines is that the WHO says that if the newborn requires NICU care, arrangements should be made to allow the mother free access to the unit, taking full IPC precautions, because the mother-infant contact is very important. But the NNF-IIP guidelines, they prohibit the COVID-19 positive mother or family member to visit SNCU till they have been declared cured as per the national guidelines. So this is the only difference. Rest remains the same. Thank you very much for a patient listening.